up on today's episode of Hot or Not, it's past versus future. Which one's quicker and which one's faster? We're about to find out. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TFL's Hot or Not, and as always, I've got my man Paul with me. And the question, Paul, is, are electric cars fast?
Well, they certainly are quick.
That is a better question. How fast are they from 0 to 60? And behind us is the brand new Tesla Model 3, the all-wheel drive dual motor.
Yeah.
So you ready to take it from 0 to 60?
I've been looking forward to this one.
No, you don't need to see it. Go do it. See how fast it is.
All right. Under the hood is actually the frunk. Yeah, we've got a trunk up here in the front of the car, and there is not an engine, there is a motor hiding underneath there because this is a dual motor. So it's got a motor in the front and another one in the back that makes this an all-wheel drive Model 3, top of the line dual motor edition. When you add it all up, this thing has 450 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. And here we are in Colorado at over 5,000 feet of altitude. So normally there's like a little asterisk or a caveat that comes with that. Well, with an electric vehicle, every bit of it, 450, 521. It doesn't matter if we put it on the top of Mount Everest, it's still gonna make that exact same amount of horsepower and torque. Kinda cool. 0 to 60 time should be really impressive here and maybe be a record for us up here at 5,000 feet of altitude. So here we go. So it's just as effortlessly as you could imagine, we do a 3.74 0 to 60 run. And it actually comes off the line relative to the Model S P100Ds that I've driven. It actually launches pretty gently.
I think it's our fastest, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what might have gone quicker. I don't know that anything's been under 4.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man.
Yeah. It doesn't launch super hard. I know it's done a 3.5, like in the magazines they've done 3.5s. I don't know if that letting it do that little slip thing would get it that couple tenths of a second.
Feel free to try.
Where was that? Was that under car? So 0 to 60 Tesla Model 3 dual motor using slip start. And that was a little bit quicker, 3.70 seconds to 60 miles an hour with no slip at all. So we've got an 18-inch Michelin all-season tire. It's a 235/45/18 on the Model 3 dual motor. And that tire's a pretty decent tire. It's certainly not a track tire. This is a very much all-season, all-purpose type of tire. And then for brakes, we've got some pretty big disc brakes all the way around. And of course, it's an electric vehicle, so you may be thinking, wait, I thought these things just did regenerative braking. And remember, regenerative braking does slow the car down, and it does, especially in normal circumstances, it can almost completely stop the car. But you do need to have actual hydraulic disc brakes for real performance driving. So when you're really braking hard, there's an algorithm that's sort of deciding when we're going to transition from using the regenerative braking to slow the car until the demand gets too high, and then you're going to switch over to these hydraulic brakes. So still super important for the car, especially in performance driving conditions.
So Paul, I think that's the fastest 0 to 60 time you've ever done.
Yeah, it was amazing. And of course, we don't have any of the problems of altitude here. Like we always are having to make excuses for being at 5,000 plus feet of altitude, and this thing just off it went.
So they are quick, but are they fast? For that, you will need your helmet.
And a racetrack. Let's go.
Guys, as you know, Tesla isn't the most media-friendly company, so as a thank you to Max for actually letting us take his car around the track and shred his tires, please use his referral code below if you're gonna buy a car, and you'll get 6 months of free supercharging. And Max will get to go test drive other Teslas. This is your car, so how much was this bad boy all in?
Just under 70.
And what'd you get in terms of tax credits?
12,500.
Which is great, so you're at really 58,000 basically.
Yep.
And why'd you get a Model 3? Because I know you have a BMW M3 as well.
Yeah, so I took it for a drive,
Yeah.
and it it just goes.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
So the instant torque.
Yeah, instant torque. It feels great. I think with the better suspension, better brakes, it'd be a really great car.
And when is the track pack upgrade coming out? You know, as
Nobody
Tesla
knows.
said, yeah.
Ask Elon.
Yeah. And you've got the big battery, right? It's a 70. Well, people are assuming it's a 75 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah.
And how much range you get out of that?
Well, close to 300 miles.
Really? So have you actually been getting that?
Yeah, pretty close. At least 280.
Yeah.
Get ready to do a lap in the Tesla Model 3 dual motor at altitude. Away we go. Launches hard off the line. Turns in pretty well. Putting power down, a lot of traction, stability control going on. Little willy over the hill. All season tires and a fairly soft suspension. And then just pull the trigger coming out. Again, traction, stability control, and it's kind of jerky. It's not super smooth traction, stability control. It's more kind of the car starts pitching because of it. Again, lots of stability control cutting in. You wonder what this car would do without it. And the throttle response, not the right word, but you know what I mean, is a little bit weird. It's kind of touchy initially, and then it fades a little bit, and then it comes back. Again, I think it's a lot to do with stability and traction control. High brake temperature, proceed with caution. Yeah, I get that a lot.
All right, Paul. That was 106.59.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like you were really fighting the car.
I'm actually driving it very smoothly.
Yeah.
I feel like I am.
Yeah.
But what I have is just constant adjustments from the car's traction stability control system.
Yeah.
So it's just always cutting in. And what's interesting is I got a high brake temperature warning. This shows you how much, because remember, stability control, traction control use the brakes a lot.
Yeah.
So it's overheating the brakes. It's running the stability and traction control so much
Yeah.
that it's actually overheating the brakes in 2 laps.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be, full throttle, like let's go, and the car's going, no, not quite yet. And so it's grabbing a lot of brake to do that.
I think we have to do this when the track software comes out and you get the track.
And we got
upgrade.
more grippier tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of that. I think this thing could be pretty fast. Like over the hump.
Yeah.
It's really like loose over that, like it's under dampened. You don't feel that when it accelerates because it's really fast. But when you're trying to make that mass change direction or you're trying to slow it down, then you feel the weight of the car. So even though it keeps the weight very low because of that battery pack that's just down on the deck, that mass is still there whenever you want to change direction or brake with the car. So a heavy car with a low center of gravity is better than a heavy car with a high center of gravity. But it's
still a heavy
not
car.
as good as a light car. Exactly.
All right, good.
But good fun to drive.
So Paul, the question we always like to answer is it hot or not? So we found out that it's certainly quick, 0 to 60.
Yep.
And it's not too fast. It's okay, but it's not too fast, but it can be fast.
Yeah, I think there's a track pack coming for the car, and I think it'll address almost all of the issues you have with the car currently, which is, again, it's blazing quick in a straight line, but it's a little soft for its weight, about 4,000 pounds. It's a little under-tired. It comes with an all-season tire on it, and it has a very aggressive stability traction control system, which actually quite quickly overheats the brakes in the car. It's working so aggressively. And that mode specifically addresses all of those issues.
So the question is it hot or not? What do you say?
I would say at the moment, no.
Okay.
But with a track pack, I suspect so.
I think from a cultural perspective, it's as red hot as you can get, right? Tesla has finally got it right with this car. On the track, I agree with you. So I'm gonna give it kind of a mild, simmering hotness that's almost there.
They sound like a sous chef or something, you know. A few more ingredients sprinkled in the right order and presto.
It'll be hot, that's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
As always, this is Roman and
This is Paul.
saying thanks for watching, and check out TFLcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world Tesla Model 3 Is It Hot or Not reviews. See you guys next time. Ciao.